I'll
Second
second.
it?
Oh, you don't let him.
Okay.
I'll second. All aye.
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll second it. All aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll move into the canvassing of the election.
Okay.
So that we'll just start, how it works on there is we'll do District 1, so that you'll have to go
And then
all
play it
through those.
over.
Yep, and then we'll have to go back to the beginning of the sheets.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
so,
Okay, gotcha.
so the first one should be Brian Banks,
Yep.
19, Tamara, 4, John, 78.
Yep.
Okay.
Next one we have is Colin, 17, Dusty Johnson, 85.
Okay.
Jamie Smith, 17, Tracy, 5, Christine Ohm, 83.
Just a minute here. Okay.
Tom Poole, 23, Johnson, 73.
Okay.
And then it should just be single ones in there for,
Okay,
is
we
that
got
what we
it.
have there?
Yep. Exactly.
Marie Jackley, 78,
Okay.
Stephanie, 20.
Yep.
And then you got two more on there, 3 and 76.
Yep.
Let's go back
Whoa,
one.
whoa, whoa.
Yep. So on there should be 23, 76.
Oh, okay.
Got those on there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the next one has John and Josh, 21, 78.
Yep.
And then Timothy, 19, Brooke, 78.
Okay.
Next one, Jeffrey, 20, Chris, 80.
Okay.
Brett, Sean, and Joel, which is 25, 64.
Okay.
Then it comes to Reimer,
Yep.
78.
Yep.
And then Rex, 46. Jimmy, 56.
Yep.
Yes and no. Yes is 69.
Yep.
No, 17. Yes, 72. No, 15.
Yep.
Ron Giles, 52.
Yep.
David, 48. Bruce,
Oh. Slow.
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
Bruce Anderson, 50. Cheryl, 48.
Yep.
Patrick,
Yep.
48.
Yep.
Tammy, 47.
Yep.
We have Larry Wagner and Randy. We have Larry is 13 to 84.
Sorry, I got two sheets. Okay, 13 and 84.
84. Amendment D, yes, 41, no, 58. Measurement 27 is yes, 31, no, 72.
Right.
Now we're on to precinct 2, so flip it back.
Yep.
And this time I'll just, since you already know that, I'll just read the numbers since you already know. Okay. So we have 20, 1, 35.
Right.
10, 42.
Right.
31, 2, 27.
Right.
31, 24.
Right.
38,
Yep. Okay.
32, 3, 21.
Right.
So we're on John and Josh, so we have 32-22.
Right,
32-23. That Jeff and Chris, we have 26-29.
Yeah.
35-16.
right,
We're at Reimer, 33.
right.
So we're on the yes and no votes. Yes, 32.
Whoa,
No.
whoa, I must have,
No,
what did I do?
that didn't have precinct 2. Rex and Jimmy didn't have precinct 2.
Yep, we have to skip that one.
You gotta
Oh,
skip that one.
It's-
okay,
yep,
I'm
so-
sorry.
That's
Okay.
only 3.
All right.
So
keep
now we're
going.
on to Rebecca Reimer, 33.
No, I did.
Okay, so now we're on the yes and the no.
Yes.
32-17.
Yes,
Yes and no again, 33-16.
right,
Chris Giles, 17.
Yep.
16. Anderson, 19. 19. We're on to Smith again, 19.
holy cow.
Tammy, 16. We have Larry and Randy, so at 10 and 42.
Right,
So now we're at the yes and the no's. Yes was 43. No was 12.
okay,
Yes, 38. No, 19. And so we should go to precinct 3 now.
Yep.
And then I think what I'll do is after this, I'll wait to have you guys sign it and I'll run it through with Danita at the
okay,
end, and then we'll just have it signed because we have to have 2
Yeah.
signed signatures on.
Okay.
Okay. So then back to this one, we're back to the beginning. We have 163 for Brian. Tamara, 10. John Thune, 60. For that, Colin, 112. Dusty Johnson, 84. Jamie Smith, 186. Tracy, 12. Christy Nome, 34. Tom Cool, 190. Johnson, 37. 93.
yep,
179, 15, 33. 183, 39.
Yep.
190, 32. 176, 44.
Yep.
203, 26.
yep,
So we're at Rebecca Reimer, 63.
whoa. I missed, did I screw up? How did that get- Oh, here, I got it, I'm sorry.
Okay, 63.
Yep,
Okay. Rex, 52. Jimmy, 29.
yep,
Yes, 112. No, 90.
yep,
Yes, 108. No, 90.
yep,
So we're at Giles, 50.
yep,
David, 49.
yep,
Bruce, 55.
yep,
48. Patrick Smith, 50. Tammy, 52.
yep,
So we're at the Larry and Randy, 79 and 117. The yeses and the nos, the yes, 191, no, 34. Yes, 181, no, 49. I have it signed by these guys already,
okay,
and so when I'll run it through with Danita, and then I'll have all you guys sign it.
Okay. Good enough.
And then after that, I do believe we need a motion
Yeah.
to approve it, but I would rather have that with Danita.
So you want these back?
You can keep them for right now in case there's a question. So nobody has a question, doesn't need the poll books opened, right? I can keep them closed at this point. Okay.
All right. Public input, what do we got for?
There wasn't any, I don't believe. Derek, is there, on that sheet, is there anybody that signed on there? I don't think there was. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, highway superintendent report. Well, let's do field bids first.
Yeah, that's,
Okay, we have from Total Oil, unleaded bulk gas, $3.72. Ethanol bulk, $3.32. Number one dyed, $4.78. Number two dyed, $4.39. Do I have a motion to accept this bid?
I'll make a motion to accept the fuel bids.
I'll second it. All aye?
You can move the, if you want to sit over there,
oh,
take out that Kleenex,
yeah,
unless you're gonna cry.
Okay, Lowell, what do you tell us about what's all happening with the roads?
okay,
Gravel report.
okay. Gravel hauling is halted, we're done for the season. Both trucks are in the shop for repairs, one's at Meyrink's for the end gate latch repairs, it's wore out in there, and when you go to lift the load, the gate does not unlatch right away, and it dumps the load all at once on the road, then we got a big pile to deal with.
Okay,
So we got it down there getting it rebuilt. The Black Western Star that's on belly dump is down at Overwigs with
injection.
injector. We've got it narrowed down to, I think, one injector that's bad.
Okay,
Snow wings are mounted on both graders, ready for winter. Spray truck is winterized and put away. The mowers are put away for the winter. We put up traffic signs this last week, mainly on 356th Avenue. I gravelled the 225th Street west of Jerry Knipling's, just on the west end where they moved that dirt, and that's been completed. We're still waiting on quotes for trading the two more tractors in. Hauled some iron to PC Salvage, that was just old iron. We gravelled the streets in Gan Valley Town for our township, and we've been mulching windrows on roads where shoulders were pulled. We did put a new garage door opener switch in the shop. It was failing, and the only way we could get it up is with remote control. So it was, the stop button was not releasing, and it wouldn't let us raise the door. So that's been fixed. Other than that, it's just waiting for a snowstorm and waiting to move some snow.
well, we got some rain now, we
Right.
need to hit these roads one more time.
We did today.
Cool,
We did today. Okay, that's all I have.
okay,
Oh,
thank you.
yeah. Can we just real quick talk about that last part on there? The gas usage, can we do that part on this one?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
I'll get my sheets.
And you guys should have that as well, it looks like. Yes,
Yep.
okay. I think
Um,
there was some in the back too, or one or two in the back.
Thanks, Georgia, thanks.
Yeah.
The fire department turned in two times that they filled with gas, ethanol. October 10th was 103.6 gallons, and October 11th was 30 gallons. The sheriff's report is what we have here listed on the sheet. Gallons is 20 on January 4th, February 14th, 20, February 25th, 16.7. Another one on February 25th was 9.8. April 14th, 14.3 gallons. August 2nd, 19.3 gallons. September 15th, 21.3 gallons. October 10th, 25.1 gallons. And November 1st, 21.3 gallons. All received by Wayne Wellman, Sheriff.
So the question that Lowell and I probably have to pose is, I'll go and kind of find out how to reconcile Wayne's to make sure that, at this point, we've only been paying Lowell everything until I got this last one here. My question's gonna be on fire department. Do we bill you guys? Is it always, how does it work? Just tell me how it works, and then,
Well, Kenny used to, get a bill together. How I understood it is, once we hit 100 gallons or something, then he'd send us a bill.
okay. Is that okay then to start this forward? We won't go back and start looking for stuff, but, because Yvette didn't even do it. So it hasn't been done for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
So can we just, this point moving forward, can we start billing at least quarterly to the fire department? If there's a need.
Yeah,
So,
Maybe the county would just like to donate gas to the fire
I
department.
said, I don't know why the county wouldn't just, for the little bit of gas we're burning, why they don't just,
and if you do that, we just need a motion.
Well, this is just for October. Do you do this every month?
Depends on if there's a fire.
We don't know that either, so. Well, maybe when the auditor comes,
The state auditor?
be a good question, of course.
Do you know how the other ones do it? How
Yeah, I
other
was gonna say, I guess.
volunteer fire departments do it?
I don't know.
No idea.
I could get a hold of Springs or Kimball and ask them. But I don't know.
It's kind of a service to the county.
Service to the county.
But sometimes you go beyond the county, correct? So let's
Yeah,
say
well,
you
if
might
we
have
get
to go
called by
to
mutual
other
aid,
counties to do.
do any of the, like whenever we've had to call, we've never had to call Dan Valley, Chamberlain usually comes in Puckwana. Our insurance pays the fire departments. Do you see that?
Yeah, we send bills, yeah. We usually talk to whoever had the fire, and if they have insurance that they can send it to, we'll give them a bill to give them their insurance.
That's how you get paid?
Sometimes. Sent the PIA bill, haven't heard back from them yet.
For this last one?
Prairie Chicken
So,
Fire.
so how many times have you billed the BIA?
Oh, this is the first fire that I've
Well,
responded
see,
to of theirs,
so
but it's
can't
about the
criticize
biggest
if you've
one.
never if you
About
haven't
the
billed
biggest
before.
one I've ever
Thank you for
responded
coming,
to.
by the way.
You're welcome.
Well, I just asked because I didn't know. I mean, I know what we have done as ranchers when we've had to have fires,
Sure.
so.
And I'm not trying to pinpoint it, but
No,
I just
you're
want to know
not.
what I'm
I'm
supposed
just
to
trying to
do.
get some answers because I don't know
Is there
either.
a manual, is there policies that we have with them, or what's our?
Like at the fire at the Prairie Chicken, they came all the way from Fort Pierre and Peter.
Presho.
and
Presho, I know
All over,
Presho.
and they sent the county a bill or anything?
haven't seen
I
it.
mean, it's kind of a public service and it's a small fire department. but
Yeah.
do what
Well,
you gotta do.
it's, something we'll look into and check on possibly.
Well, we should have a answer. I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal. We should give Deb an answer so she knows how to keep the books.
Well, and mainly Lowell too, because like right now, all of it's going to him. And
But can
so,
we split it? My next question is can we split it out? So it shows going to the fire
yeah,
department? so we can-
certainly. There, I don't have another line item, but what I would do is put 201, whatever for the, what we do now, and then I just do another line item. It would be the
Okay.
same line item, but it would show a different amount for them, and then we kind of
So,
know.
so we can keep it.
Everybody's accountable then.
Right.
Even whether it's a volunteer or whether it's whatever happens,
the
then we
sheriff.
kind of know what's
The
going
sheriff.
on.
Should have a line item as well.
Correct.
He is, yeah.
And so I think Lowell and I were talking, I think we'll put up 3 clipboards, kind of like what he has there. And just if you come in and you're using it, sign the clipboard. And then that way it's just not a
Yeah.
tear off thing, it'll just be sitting there.
They're gonna keep track on their own.
So,
Okay.
that all right
Okay,
with
do
you?
I have a motion then to the county will supply the fuel for the fire department and of course the sheriff, but that'll be documented separately or something to that.
I'll make
effect.
a motion that we donate the gas to the volunteer fire department and the sheriff's office. But it must all be documented, and we have.
And the sheriff office will go under the sheriff's
Yep, and the
budget.
sheriff office will go under the sheriff.
And
and the fire
what about the
department
fire
has a budget.
department? Do they don't have a
They
budget?
will now. Well,
it'll be the same as
Same.
what he has, but I'll just make it a separate
Separate.
line so that we kind of know auditing wise where the money's coming, where the gas is coming from.
Right.
But it will be donated though,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
Well, then what they gonna do with their revenue?
Well, they've got trainings and upkeep on their trucks and that to do.
What's the balance of the fire department? It's always, I mean, it's in some sky high number, I
So
assume.
it can't be.
$50,000 right now.
50,000.
We're sending them this one here, just look at fire,
At some point, you're gonna buy a truck, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
there should be, you'll see the fire department.
No, in Chamberlain, they raise money every year because they're always.
That's
running
about.
For example, Gerald County's got a 6-figure balance and we have.
Oh, I don't know what fire trucks cost,
Just like everything else.
Not cheap.
but money on it.
all right, we'll move
So we have
on.
we
Thank
have a
you.
motion out there with Don started.
Oh, no, Danita's here.
Well, tell me what your motion is again, that you're going to.
Supply the
Separate-
fuel for the fire
separate-
department,
separate
county
them into
expense.
that
That's
part.
what- But it needs to be documented.
so,
Well, they said that you were gonna take a set of books and you're gonna be different than the set of books we get.
Probably.
Yes, no?
Well,
You're gonna keep track of
Keep-
fire
we'll
Well, that's
keep
what
department.
track of
I'm
them.
talking- Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
asking him because he seemed to be answering your questions. As long as we have something to document it, gosh,
Just the way.
it's better than what we ever had before.
All right,
So you'll
okay,
second
did you
that?
second it?
I'll second it.
All aye?
Thank you.
One more question. What's the difference between Buffalo County Fire District and Gan Valley Fire?
There isn't. The official name of the fire department is Buffalo County Rural Fire Protection District 1.
And that's, where's that?
Right there. The red on the right side of the map.
Oh, the pretty pink? What's the strip down the middle then?
Puckwana.
That's the one where you were saying
yeah, we've
Rural County
used,
comes in there?
we've used Puckwana and Chamberlain has come to our
I could
place.
shed a little bit of light on that, didn't you?
Okay.
Back 25 years ago, when we did these fire districts or emergency response maps, we
Catherine
we
did.
polled the kind of the citizens around the county as to what department they wanted to respond to their area, you know, what was the norm, like Dawn's, Puckwana comes up there. You get up further north, some of the maps will show that EMS comes out of Miller, is who we're supposed to dispatch. Ambulance, so it's different services respond to different areas. And that's kind
They
of.
all
how that
respond
map
through that
came out.
tower? Is that how do you respond? How do you respond?
No.
So if it's like a
that's
Papuana-
communicating.
That's just-
Okay,
Okay, I'm talking about who is really designated. So when I get a call and they tell me it's at this person's place,
I get
then
it.
I dispatch or call that service to respond to that area, because was the preferred.
We was just down to Lynn Mayer's, and I don't know if that's in that light blue or not.
Thank you.
So does
Thank
the,
you.
so then does taxes go to pay for your fire district down there? So there's some added tax here that.
You know, I can't answer that. Whenever we've had to use our insurance, our farm insurance pays the fire departments that come.
I think most of the insurance companies have a rate though that
Yeah,
they pay
yeah.
for that.
Yeah, they have a rate that they pay.
And the fire department tries to live with it.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And,
I don't know.
and you raise about 50,000 a year for your.
No.
Oh, so what? How do you have 50,000 in there then?
We are pretty conservative with our
Okay.
spending,
Well, what do you usually raise a year then?
about 4.
Well, you're on the tax rolls too, so you get, it might be a small amount, but you get something from the
Enough
county,
to
right?
keep the lights on and the insurance paid.
Okay.
About
And I usually only do those they were talking about transmittal sheets.
Was it
Those
possible
come
to
out
see
every
your
3
books?
months.
You have to talk to our treasurer,
Who's your treasurer?
Jake Richardson.
Would you put in a request?
You can come to our next fire meeting.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way that
Right,
should be
Then I get the
handled.
books?
You can talk to the treasurer and request it, I suppose.
I'd rather the county send them a letter. That way we have something written. Paper trail.
I just need to know the mileage. I can
What are you
I need
doing-
to just put
What are you
that
doing
in.
with the gas that the county burns?
Steve, look.
I don't
Everybody
know, that's
keep
what
track
we're
of
trying to
that?
keep track of too.
Oh, yeah.
State rate.
Yeah, it has to be documented.
Thanks.
Actually, every road is documented, what
Should be
expense
broke down
goes
that
on
far,
to it.
yeah.
It's supposed to be reported today on the sheet. isn't it?
All right. So, should we want to wait to sheriff?
Yep,
Okay,
No,
I
no, no,
had
no.
some questions in regards to the mileage
No
rates.
burn for gas, yeah, it's on the.
What?
Isn't it?
Well, we
Excuse me,
cl-
but
we
we have an
closed.
interruption from the audience. Mr. Weaver.
Too bad.
So mileage,
We've got a public input, and that's where it's supposed to be.
It's on the agenda, people, okay? What's on the agenda is supposed to be at the meeting.
only to speak on this side, not on this side. So on to sheriff, mileage rates.
January.
yeah,
The sheriff has 8 cents above what we get, and that's,
Yeah.
Steve went and checked on that, so.
Always.
So I just want everybody to know
Right.
that was going on.
But that's personal mileage.
so what is the rates, mileage rates?
51 cents, and
Okay.
we did that last month,
Yep,
so.
That's his or ours?
That's
No, so then 51 plus
Plus
8.
so his is 59.
59, okay. Yeah, there's-
are we good with that?
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the statute says.
But that's personal vehicle,
It used to be 3 cents, at least 3 cents over,
32
but not
cents.
more than 6 cents over.
Jeez.
And somewhere along the line, they've changed the statute, it's just flat 8 cents over now. So,
Okay,
You're up.
thank you. Lee, lead supervisor.
I don't know, but he's a dark.
I can give a kind of a lead report first. We attended the district meeting. I went to Mitchell, Danita went to Pierre. I think mine was in Mitchell, I think it was November 3rd. Some pretty good info that's come out of that. Our inspection summary was due November 1st from our weed board. I sent that October 31st, so that's been turned in. The grant application, I've been going back and forth with Jeremiah. I've sent him a draft today, and he had some things to tweak and we thought might be good to have on the grant application. Again, we'll do the the grant it's not the competitive grant. I believe last year, or the last time, was like 5,100. The time before was 4,600, 6,300. That's a 50-50 cost share type of thing. If the grants, say 5,000, then we have to spend 10, we get the 5,000 that way. So that's rolling. We got that turned in
That's due though, coming up there.
November 15th, yep. So once we get it where we want it, I'll mail the hard copy and that has to be turned in. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll hand these out. This is kind of the cheat sheet we did for the grants, just to kind of give everybody an update.
Do you have copies for them as well?
Yes, I can make one. I have one other, I can.
Do you want to hand it to me and I'll make copies of you guys?
And I guess we'll go through that first. The ARPA funds, okay, as we talked before, the first half was received February of '22 for a total of $190,547.50. As I said before, the second payment does not come until 12 months after the first. Okay, I'll just go down the list and then we'll talk about the motion for the ARPA funds. Next, we talked last time about the LATCF, the Local Assistance Tribal funds. That was $51,167.26. I applied for that. A deposit was made November 22nd for $51,167.26. The second payment, we're waiting for guidance on that, on how to get that. Those funds can just be deposited into the general fund. We don't have to go through the hoops that we're doing for the ARPA funds. And I guess the READ grant, we've talked about that. I put it in there 4,000, so.
So you went in for 4,000 and that's just all for chemicals and
Call you
kind of contractual that we need, right?
Yep, any meetings that we do, advertising, part-time help. I have that with me, a copy of, yeah.
Yeah, anything but your salary.
Yes, yep. Newspaper ads, possible radio ads, chemical to treat right-of-ways, Buffalo County for local and state noxious weed control, seasonal and or contractual labor, and or part-time help for control of the same, okay? Meetings, we'll probably do some meetings, educational, informational materials, so.
So you'll come up with a budget for 8,000 for that.
Yeah, whatever we wanna,
Because if we're going after 4, we're gonna have to match it, so.
yep, exactly. I don't, in the application, you don't really put an amount. And again, I'm kind of green with it, but
Is that in the actual budget right now, or do we need to amend a budget next month?
We might have to amend the budget, because I don't think we put anything in there for chemical spray. Because that's all we can use this
We'll
for.
have to
I
look
think
at
our
the
But
budget
the
was like,
reason why it fluctuates is that some people don't apply, because like remember, we haven't applied for the last 2 years, so it
Right.
increased some of that other stuff.
yep,
Depending if anybody else doesn't apply.
right. Okay, so next, we're gonna,
I got one of these.
we got one of those.
Yeah, you lay by my desk, thank you.
This is the motion for the ARPA funds. That's the 381,000. And I guess the best way to explain this, and we've talked about this before, it was kind of the gray area. Everybody was kind of wondering what to do and how to do it. There was, the South Dakota counties was kind of involved. Somebody posed the question. It was emailed to all the state auditors. And what they come up with, this was a motion, and I actually had Union County call me. And this is similar to what they did. This is what all the other counties do. So we've said before that those funds, what everybody's doing, it's a revenue loss for government services, 6.1. And what you do, you put it in for wages. If we were to put it onto, say, like the road grader, there's a whole bunch of other paperwork that you have to do for the formula that the treasury uses. So this is a motion, it's just due diligence, I guess you could call it. being thorough. So this is a motion that everybody else is doing, to have in the books, how we're gonna handle these funds.
So all it's telling us is that you're using Buffalo County salaries to come up with this
So we'll be able to see
190,000.
that.
That
Exactly.
way, yeah, that way, once we get that funding
Because I
back, then
have-
we
I
can
have
go out and
just
buy
about
your road
the same
grader.
question.
Right.
But we
So-
need to be reimbursed for those funds.
Right
So,
now, if, like I said,
so
the
the
first
board
half
should
was
help.
in February, 190,000 and some change. That's in 290. So if we make this motion, that goes in the books, that we acknowledge, we handle the funds, government services, then I believe the next meeting, what Union County is doing is making a motion to move whatever we need for wages from 290 to general funds. And then that's it. You can use the money for whatever.
But we have to account for the 190. So
Once
do we have 190 salary?
No, this will go on.
Well,
It's
and
a
what-
five,
that's
it's
how we're
a
gonna
5 year,
get
it's five, up to,
we have to use the funds, I believe, by 2024.
right, so it probably doesn't have to be within 2 years. So I'm saying, if we decide to do salary, benefit, however we want to figure that out, then next month, I would be able to tell you exactly what next.
Yeah.
Because let's not figure all that out now. We don't know
I
anything about
that, but I'm
raises
just
or,
asking you, do we have enough to
Right,
cover?
yes.
We should have.
And-
We'll do that math. We'll calculate up, we can do it, and you might see on the motion to move it quarterly, monthly, whatever we want to do. So we'll go and add up what all of our salaries and benefits would cost for that month, that quarter, whatever, and we make a motion to move it from 290 to the general ledger.
once
And
it's done that way
then-
too, then you don't have to worry so much about, let's say, new bathrooms. I'm just
Yeah, no,
pulling
yeah.
something off.
Right,
Then you can start to use those type of funds. The ARPA will go one place and we can start messing around a little bit with the other stuff. So, I mean, it'll all still be where it needs to be, but,
Once it
Right.
goes to the general fund, it's a done deal.
right.
Yeah. It's just a matter of getting it there. Okay, and I don't have a problem with that. The safest way to do it.
That's what everybody else is doing. If this is wrong, every other county in the state's gonna be wrong, so.
Okay.
You
So what do
you want me
need
to
from us now?
read what the
Well,
They all
motion?
got it.
no, we'll have to read it because you can't make a motion.
No, I know,
So,
but I could read what the
And we-
motion is.
And we don't have to do it this month either, if you guys wanna think about it, and we can make that motion in, or is there a reason?
No, I'll ask for a
Okay.
motion.
Yeah, it's already been expended. We might as well pull it out.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to elect the final ruling allowing the county to use up to 10 million of the ARPA recovery funds as lost revenue for the provision of the general government services without needing to use the treasury revenue loss formula. Buffalo County has elected to use salaries and county paid benefits from the general fund as an expense of the American Rescue Plan in the amount up to 10 million to be reimbursed yearly, biannually, or quarterly.
Okay, do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it. But when we say counties, that's all counties. That's the 10 million is not what we get.
Well, the 10 million is, yeah, that's.
That, because we only get 190,000.
We double that.
Yeah,
Double that.
380.
yeah. Well, once we get this. in the-
But there's other funds, 51,000 as well.
But that's not.
That's
these funds.
separate from this.
This is just ARPA.
Right.
So other counties like Davison and all those other ones that elected to use it. Okay, I'll second.
Right. All aye, motion carried. Okay,
I think that's it. that we have.
The John Clem,
The other thing, okay, well, this will be in your vouchers, the SDML. I answered the audit, we have our loss control credit that amounted to $546. And we'll address some of the findings from that audit at the next meeting, but.
That's
Come on,
the
everybody.
insurance, that's the
Yep,
liability
yep,
one, right?
yep, yep.
Okay.
So. And I think that is it.
it's on there, I think.
Radio tower, I think.
okay, I'll talk about that. I've currently been trying to research as much as I can about the radio tower when this thing with the rent came up. It was all green to me. So I asked Wayne, and I've been researching the file and trying to find out as much about this mitigation grant as I can. I've highlighted a few items here, and then I'll talk some more about it as well. But Buffalo County, this is previously, of course, when they were obtaining the tower. Buffalo County CD is currently in the process of designing and implementing a communication systems to solve the communication problems within our emergency response agency. In doing so, some of the original plans were discovered to be insufficient to provide the proper equipment necessary for our coverage area. Another note here, Buffalo County Civil Defense Hazard Mitigation Project is complete and request closeouts. No further matching funds are requested. Total expenditures incurred are $23,831. In that amount, $21,249 were cash expense and $2,582 in-kind services provided. While running a computerized topographical program of the area to be served by the proposed communications equipment, it was learned that the location and the height of the base tower would be insufficient to cover the majority of the service area. It is therefore recommended that the site be relocated and a taller tower to be erected. A new site has been located and secured that will be suitable. Bids for alternative equipment have been received. They are as follows. Site location, Gan Valley Legion Post property, lots 21 through 24. Block 18 of the town site of Gan Valley, Buffalo County, South Dakota. Legion will also provide housing for the equipment at the tower site and power. There will be a soft match items and a given value of $1,000. The applicant, this is just something I pulled out. There's a lot more to it. I'm going to keep it very short here. The applicant will not enter into any other contract with any other party which is debarring or suspended from participating in the federal assistance program. Buffalo County has a small tax base due to the large part of the county being non-taxable Indian reservation land. Therefore, without outside resources, it is cost prohibitive to purchase this necessary communication and warning devices. And in their research and building this tower, it was noted in there that there had been storms prior to this, and they were not able to be serviced because phone lines or something was done. The interesting thing I find here is that the Wessington Springs School District issued an easement after the Legion. The first one was the American Legion, and then the school district issued it later, assuming that there was a problem with the ownership or something. But anyway, I want to read you this Wessington Springs Independent School District. Herein called grantor, hereby grants, conveys, and warrants to Buffalo County, South Dakota, herein called grantee, an easement for the purpose of locating, constructing, maintaining, and using a site for the radio tower, including assorted support wires, utility lines, electrical, and other equipment in and upon the following described property. And then it gives the legal site. The provision of this easement will ensure to the benefit of and bind the successors and assign the parties hereto. Undersigned, Dale Shimke and Norma Powell. on this 27th day of October 1994, before me and the undersigned officer personally appeared. Here's the one from the Gan Valley Legion. Basically says the same thing. They will grant easement for the purpose of locating, constructing, and maintaining and using as a site for the radio tower, including assorted support wires, utility wires, electrical, and other equipment. The following described property. And then it was notarized by Ken Wolf, Joe Zastro. Here is what it says. Provision of this easement shall ensure to the benefit of and bind the successors and assign of the parties hereto. This 11th day of April. It seems to me that the paperwork probably wasn't done properly. In reviewing the grant, in there it asked if they had a building to how, or something to enclose the radio equipment. And being there seems to be errors in these agreements, I believe that the radio tower should stay where it is. I believe though that due to the circumstances and the condition of the building, that we need to obtain a small, supposedly this shelter we have down here. The entire cost of it, at least it was around $6,000. We could ask for a grant. It's been noted that there are probably other structures available too that we could apply for a grant. But the thing that I'm concerned about, it says in that grant that we must maintain that equipment and service it periodically. I have here a bill or an estimate from Dakota Two-Way that it should have been serviced in 2/9/21. It never was done. I assume they probably weren't very accessible to get through the door. But anyway, we have a big building up there. We do not own it. Hasn't been kept up. And even if they do keep it up, it's still a big building. There's holes in the wall where large animals have dug the insulation out, and that is not an acceptable enclosure for this equipment. And if we want to maintain this equipment or service, we need to have our own electricity up there. We need to have our own enclosure, and we can do this by eminent domain, and that's what they do. I think a judge needs to look at this paperwork and decide. Eminent domain means there will be a settlement between the two parties, and I think a judge needs to look at this and review it. Going on with a big building that has not been kept up is not acceptable if we want coverage for this equipment. And I want to read to you the agreement, or the proposal, I guess you'd call it, from American Legion. What it says is a 1-year lease rental between Buffalo County and Abernathy Post 16. Lease of partial building, $100 a month, $1,200 a year. Lease of partial ground tower, $100 a month, $1,200 a year. A deposit of $6,200, refundable if agreement
That's
is
supposed to not read 6,200, if you remember. That's supposed to, with Kenny's handwriting, it's supposed to read
No.
$1,200. That should have been a 12. And
All
he
right.
brought that up.
I'll stand corrected.
On the voucher, stick on the voucher.
Yeah.
Should be a voucher on there.
Yep.
But that's a 1 year thing. It's not, I assume that is 3,600 every year. So basically
No,
that,
That's,
deposit would go on every year, I guess. But it's only a 1 year. This is not acceptable with that grant. I can tell you that right now. It's $3,600 a year is what the
but they
vouchers.
put that on hold, Lloyd, until they got the asbestos results back.
The installation has no effect on that equipment.
No, but that was part of it, is they wanted to check the asbestos before we went over, and we were looking at getting a grant. I talked
Yeah.
to Catherine Benton to get a grant to fix the doors and everything.
They have fixed the doors and you can see daylight all the way around it. It's a big
I ain't
building.
supposed to say nothing, but I thought you was kind of down to 100 a month, weren't you?
Yes, we were,
All right.
total.
But the building has to be fixed. It's
And
significant
that's,
problems.
and that's what Catherine Branton is to meet with us this November and bring in somebody to look at the doors, to get an estimate on correct fixing of both doors, and to see if we can get a grant for it, but we won't know till January.
Here, wait a minute. That building we do not own. We do not have a guarantee that we'll be able to use it later. We're talking about a 1 year lease, which is not acceptable with the grant. The second thing, I've had people call me from Sioux Falls. They'd like to purchase that building for a boat storage thing. I have people in the community asked about using that building. We have no guarantee. We have no business dealing with this building that is 100 times, 1,000 times bigger than it needs to be for what we're using. I see no reason why. I mean, they have no ability to heat it. They have no ability to cool it. And even back when they were having dances there, the water system or the bathrooms didn't work. How can you possibly stick anything into a situation that we don't have a key to and can, when Dakota 2A comes to service it, they have no way of getting in there? I guess it's, Dakota 2A.
What's the alternative?
To put a little enclosure up there.
Why was that building okay for 27 years and now it's not?
Well, it's not. We inspected it. It is definitely not okay.
27 years ago, it was.
Well, it's better. They didn't have coon holes that big in it, or badger holes, whatever that is. It's not acceptable. That's my pitch. Thank you. And I guess whatever you do, I do believe that if you do not have control of the building, you have no right putting anything more into it. The building could be sold, it could be anything. You have no control of it.
Well, I don't believe that the Legion would sell it out from under us without a fair warning. I feel everybody should be fair on this.
Well, putting money into
Well,
the door to the room is even falling off. The only thing that's left is the board that the hinges are hooked to. And just 1 or 2 doors. It's shifted. Why would you take and spend more money? $6,000 would buy one of these shelters down here, and it would be mouse proof. It would be everything, and it would be open to anybody that needed to service it.
Where would you put the shelter?
Right beside the tower. Now we're on a yearly rental thing, which is not
You're
acceptable.
still gonna pay for electricity, and what's that cost? What's the?
$59 a month.
it's basically $60 a month.
That's
Well,
facility charge.
You said you put a building beside it. Is that
Well, like this fallout shit,
Yeah,
whatever that thing
I guess
is.
what I'm saying is the Legion gonna agree to that, or they gonna fight you?
Well,
It's
well,
like eminent
it
domain.
doesn't matter. Eminent domain means that it would go before a judge
not
and
my
it would be determined.
That's not my question, whether you have the strong arm to do it or not. My question
Yes, we
is,
do.
that's not my question. My question is the Legion gonna fight you on it or approve that? Or are they gonna be disgruntled?
Why would they fight us on it when they can do whatever they want to with the building and it has no effect on the
But
county?
here's the next thing I wanna ask, if we put it on their land, on an eminent domain, will that building become theirs? Even if we do pay for it?
No.
They won't, okay.
Yeah, but I don't think, is it that simple? To just go have a judge say,
No.
this land is your land, county, take it.
No, it's not so.
If they hire a lawyer and this and that,
I mean, it,
and the community might say, what the hell's going on?
yes.
Well, we shouldn't be putting the money, I don't care what it is, grant or whatever, into a building we
They've
have
been
no
pretty good
control
so
of.
far, okay?
Pardon?
They've been pretty good so far,
For
correct?
27 years.
Allowing it to be in the condition it is. He's right. We need to do something with the building.
Well, you
I'm
haven't
not-
put a
What did-
penny
what
into
did
that
they use it
building
for?
either.
What did they use it for?
Okay, let's
I'm
go
not
back.
saying that, but if
When they
use
built
it
the
for-
building, we had
They used to
slave
have
auctions,
their-
we had everything we could think
They
of
have their leach-
to
have their leach
get this
fields
thing
and stuff.
built.
Really,
and
they don't use it for
at the
anything
time,
now.
When
But they do
propane
wanna get it
was
fixed.
40 cents or 25
And
cents a
that's why
gallon,
I've been working with Cal
the
to try
school
and-
board couldn't really afford
she
to
has
heat it
been-
because the heat loss was so
She
terrific.
thinks there's a grant.
So what does this building have going for? Storage is basically it. Why would you try and maintain this great big enclosure for a piece of equipment this
Has
big?
it been damaged so far?
Pardon?
Has the equipment been damaged so
Well, it
far?
doesn't look good, I can tell you that. The
Insulation
front,
all over.
yeah,
The equipment.
the equipment, the front doors tore off.
It is.
On this cabinet, the back, it's
It's
laying
really
over
rough.
here.
I know, but if
And
Kenny
it's
wouldn't ask for
running.
$100 rent
And
a
it's
month
running.
this would've went
Sucking it all in.
We
on
never
internally
had any-
until the
Yeah.
roof fell in.
Well,
Right.
now we're not, we're dealing with a new deal, a yearly agreement.
But if nobody would have brought up and said, hey, can you pay a little rent on this? This never would have became an issue. Or, well, we need a new building. This
But
is
we
not
would-
acceptable.
But nobody's been in there to know how bad it's
Well,
been.
true, I know.
Until just now. I mean,
Well, you
let's be
couldn't
honest
get
on
in, you
that.
gotta take a crowbar to get the door.
Yeah, I don't know, have you guys been up there lately? It's, I mean,
And
anybody
they
could
cleaned
get in
up,
there.
And they're not denying that.
Well, the Legion used to have their weapons and whatnot stored there. There's nothing in there. They have no use for it. Why?
The radio equipment's in there, okay?
Radio
Has them, how
equipment's about
often
the
do they
size
come
of
to?
the-
And it shouldn't be in
How
there.
often do they come to inspect the equipment that?
Well, they
to-
prob-
to
the-
pay out?
but they can't get in to inspect
Well,
the
they
rest of
could
it
if,
because
they
right,
could have if they'd asked Kenny and he could
Yeah.
get the doors open and you can get in,
Yeah.
just like we did.
they went, when we took the tower up there, they would not go up there into that building, right, the insurance. We were with them and we went over to the elections place and they did not want to get into the other spot. So that's just sort of, I'm just telling you what I know.
Well, it's
And you
not
couldn't get into it
acceptable.
because
Under,
you can't get
why would we
Well,
store
It was bad when it
the
was
equipment this
2
big
years
in
after they
a
put it
So
up.
why
It
don't
was
we go
even-
ahead and
50 by?
Because it's
I'll just
there.
take it out.
Huh?
Okay.
How
So it
long
says
do-
here, this has February of last year, they sent us a bill, but they never did this one.
No, it's an estimate.
Okay.
Okay, let me shed some light on that. Is that the estimate I got?
960, it's just to
Okay,
you.
that's an estimate just to inspect the tower and the cables and stuff, and I have never presented it to you.
When was the
At
last
this
time we
point.
tested it?
It's been over 10 years since we've had somebody climb the tower, okay? So, I knew that, and so I've got an estimate to find out what it would cost to have it inspected, okay?
Well,
Now, as far as the you know, the original grant and to have this equipment inspected every so often, that time frame has long been gone. You're not obligated to maintain it or anything any longer, it's yours. It's just, you know,
So we can neglect it.
yeah, you could declare it surplus if you want, you know.
But the thing is, do we want radio do we want service or not? If we are no longer interested in service, we should just abandon it then, I would say.
But we,
Better way to do it.
You said you understand that the tower is needed. I
That's right,
I need it, the fire department.
that's
needs it.
right, I agree.
But what I don't agree with, Lloyd, is to me, this is just some personal conflicts that are fighting each other. And I think I'm the one who started this project, and it all came together as a community get-together. Everybody donated all they could. They didn't charge us for this stuff. And I think today, this is all just started over some personal conflict. And I really think that you're right, it needs some maintenance, but I don't think we need a new building. I think we can go up there and we'll probably get some volunteer time and help to do it, because it is a community thing. And we can make that thing look presentable. And that's my opinion. I think we're just fighting, we're fighting here instead of just trying to get.
We're not fighting,
I think Lloyd's response of putting it in like a storm shelter, that's $6,000. What kind of maintenance will we have to put up there? Catherine,
That's
I'm certainly willing
10
to do
times
that,
that.
but for $6,000, at least it'd be secure.
It
but
wouldn't
I don't know
blow
what
away.
building you're talking about,
Storm
because,
shelter.
you know, we've had several of them little buildings made, and they've went up by about 3,000 a year.
Look at this storm shelter down there. It's mouse proof. It's got a good heavy door on it. It could be secured.
It's right next to.
And I know the price, when I talked to him earlier, was $6,000. I suppose it's 8,000 now. I don't know. But why would we go into and all this
Plus, we're gonna have to
Wire it.
rewire it, have somebody come out to move it, and
you got a wire going into it. I mean, not even that big. I've looked at them.
I don't disagree, but we're
You gonna
not,
do it?
we're not,
Pardon?
we can't do it
You
ourselves.
gotta move the radio equipment, make sure all.
Well, no,
The radio equipment is
That has
not
to
as
be-
big as your refrigerator.
No, I know that, but in the legality of things, if we want to keep it working, a lot of those places won't let you and I just go move it and hook it
no,
up.
they'd have to,
It'd
but
have
it
to be
needs
looked at.
serviced anyway. It needs, right here, we got a bill that should be, okay. It should be, and why would we go to all this grant thing of refurbishing this great big building when we could do it and it would be storm worthy?
And I understand that, but again, how much more animosity do we want within our community? Because that's where we're at, and we've got so much right now.
The Legion could sell the building, do anything they want to, it wouldn't affect us in any
I
shape.
don't think you'll get many people to buy it, Lloyd. Maybe the county ought to
Just us
purchase
suckers
it
that
from
rent
there. They probably sell it to you for less than 6,000.
Then we'd have to fix it up. I like your idea.
Well, so much for it, we'll move on. I wanted it to be known that, this fact of sticking money into a building like that is not necessary.
Can we get these guys to come down and look at that radio equipment? Let's see what kind of status it is. Maybe it's not even worth saving. We
Oh,
don't.
I
works.
do know, I called and talked to him. And I talked to the guy at Dakota Radio, and he said, this is the most reliable system there is.
Okay. Well, so let's get him over here and take a look at it.
Okay.
Please.
If you want me to have them come climb it, I certainly would.
Climate, I thought it's inside.
Well, they're gonna have to inspect the tower.
That's
fine,
that's
too.
to inspect the tower,
Tower.
climb it, make sure all the guy wires aren't wearing out.
And that's good too, but inside where the computer part is or whatever that is, I mean, blower's going and you've got insulation
Repeater,
going
it's a
all over again,
repeater.
you know, that could be sucking that up too, so.
All right. Well, you're right. We wouldn't have, this wouldn't have came up if we hadn't gotten this bill. But we did get this bill, and it leaves a lot of open. This thing should be finalized. It should be a permanent deal, not a yearly deal that changes. To me, that's unacceptable.
Well, and I believe Glenn Mayer is writing up a new one that wants to get the asbestos done, that will be.
The asbestos has nothing to do with this equipment, Dawn.
Well, if Kenny gave you a 25-year lease for $1,200 a year, would that satisfy you? Or?
No, it needs to be forever. That's what this grant is about.
Well, we'll get.
All right, we'll move on.
All right, so we're on to the auditor here. There were 1 hospitalizations. I already gave it to Steve over there, so that was good to go. In your
Hospitalization.
hospitalization,
Just a
you
notice.
don't get a sheet, that's.
Usually we had before, so
Oh.
that's, we were.
I would, if you want to look at it, I prefer not everybody to have it for
No.
confidentiality
Just
purposes.
Right.
Yeah, and we only go through them and then we give it back to you.
Let them see it, that's right. It's a hospitalization notice, that's the notice they have to give us in case they're gonna bill us later.
Right.
Not a bill.
And if we don't get it, we get a bill.
But it does have social security
Right.
numbers and
Right.
stuff
Oh,
on,
yeah.
so.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll go on to this next one where we're kind of going to that because you don't need a motion or anything else in
Right.
regards to that, just like to show you. Treasurer to auditor, those are on here, so you should have a form that shows that, looks like this.
This one, here. Oh,
Nope. Okay, so if you go to September, in September, we had about $981.98.
This is first.
That
of
was off, so
September.
we talked to the state auditor, and the state auditor said, wait until next month to see if it's gonna balance things out. But you'll see on the next month, it did balance it out. He said, we're gonna go ahead and, he sent us an email, and we either have to increase the revenues or decrease the expenditures. He says, just go ahead and we'll work on that, and everything will be at a zero balance coming into the next month after that. We have no idea where the 981, we have gone through everything, so,
But it balanced the next month.
yeah, it will be balanced, yep, so.
Okay,
And I think there's some of that in the back too, if somebody wanted a copy of that. I got this in the mail. It's the Water Development District, and I just need you to sign this.
Okay.
On this.
So if I can have you do that, then I can send that back, send this side deep. Okay,
So
thank you.
this listing that you gave us out of auditors, is that last?
That's your
month's? Is
vouchers.
that last month or what's this?
What's
month?
this month? I have not, I didn't get to the set out, but I did, usually I do for, but those vouchers are pretty much closed except for payroll. So that's the that's, we haven't signed those yet. So,
So you need, this is the motion you need for,
no, but well,
when,
In a little bit.
eventually, yeah.
so then on to the legal holidays. We do have a couple legal holidays coming up. Tomorrow is one of them. And then Thanksgiving is a Thursday. Last year, we had Friday as a holiday off. I would just need if you guys approve that, I would just need a motion that Thursday, Friday.
So do I have a motion?
Did the state get it off?
They have not
Friday?
set it out there yet, but I'm sure they will. That usually happens about 3 days before.
I'll make a motion to have the Friday after Thanksgiving as a holiday for our employees.
A second?
All right.
All aye?
Aye.
Okay, motion
Right.
carried.
So then we're on to the burn ban. So do we continue with the burn ban?
What is your
I would
recommendation?
lift it, isn't there more
Huh?
moisture? I would lift it, there's more moisture in the forecast, isn't there? Yeah,
So would you say you'd lift it or not?
I would, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we lift the burn. I don't think I have to make a motion on that, do I?
I can't remember what our last one said.
Let's just go ahead and do it.
I'll
That
make a
way-
motion to lift the burn ban.
I'll second.
all right, burn ban's lifted. Okay, county officers or employees for public personal property.
Okay, so on this sheet that I did for,
Yeah.
if you'll look on there, this is my calendar that I have to do by codified laws and accounts. So this right here, this longer one, it looks, and I'm not 100% sure what it all means, so I'm hoping Steve can maybe help on that.
Okay.
It sounds like we have to do, I'm required to do an inventory. Is that how you would read this one too?
Yeah, I think so. We're supposed to say, does anybody have anything?
Yeah,
But I don't.
update your inventory
And
list.
so just, if anybody, so whoever, like this equipment right here, just add that to the inventory? Or,
Oh, you're talking about, I was talking about, do you have any in your custody?
So that would
This,
just,
this really, if you have stuff, not the stuff that's here. I'm talking about.
that would be if I would have a cell phone that was the county.
Right, that's what they're talking about there.
And we do have a few of those out.
so do we need an overall inventory?
I think, I don't know if
Each
you do.
department should have one. though.
Yeah,
I thought we did more or less on our insurance.
I have not done an inventory since I've been here, so that, I
Okay.
guess, is my question.
but what it's talking about is just each of the employees, like if you've got a county cell phone or
Yeah.
anything, or a computer
Computer or
in your
something.
possession.
And I don't think we have any of that, do we? Nobody's carrying anything.
I mean, does Lowell, do you have a county cell phone?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there's an example, he's got one.
I have
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah,
Commissioners don't have anything yet.
mm-mm, no,
No,
So just employees should make a,
yes,
So, and I think everything the sheriff has is really in the sheriff's office and whatnot. What would you think, Wayne?
I'm not sure I'm following you or heard.
Well,
everything.
they're talking about if an employee has county property in their possession. Okay, so like if I had a county computer or a county phone, then we're supposed to list it, all right?
In your personal possession.
In my personal
Yeah.
possession, I think everything you have is in sheriff's office possession.
No, I have a radio in my house.
Oh, do you? Okay,
Yep, and I still have a radio in my personal pickup that I used to use for my sheriff duties.
Uh-huh.
That's my backup
okay.
unit.
Those would be the things you'd list then.
okay.
okay,
There's not gonna be much.
okay. So that's all the inventory that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not doing inventory of courthouse. You're
Okay,
not doing that inventory.
all right. I just wanted to make sure I was doing what I was supposed to do because it's a codified law, so. All right, I just on 12 or wherever we're at on what you guys.
Yeah.
Director of Equalization, is there any update?
You haven't gotten any, okay.
We're still advertising, right?
Yep, it's still in the paper, I seen it.
So there have been some 911 addressing, there has been 4 or 5,
Huh? I'm still- Thank you.
there have been quite some things that have come through, and I am gonna have to get probably Bob from Connecting Point, because some stuff's really gonna have to happen. Because I have to move on to the next thing, so the auditor can send everything to the treasurer to send out all the billing at the end of the year.
So there's
So-
something that the
so
equalization office has to do that needs to be done? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
and he's been doing most of it, so I just want people to know that
Right,
he's been doing most of the 911s and everything else, so.
okay, so you're talking about 911 address.
Anything that's been going on, the computer, it doesn't really even open up anymore, but, so any calls or anything else, we've just been handling and doing
Okay.
the best that we can and piecing things together,
Yeah.
so.
Is there any legality where you gotta have somebody, I mean, that kind of Department of Taxes and all this and that, isn't it?
That's why I have Bob coming, so that Bob is Connecting Point, who oversees Ultra,
Okay.
is what it is, it's an Ultra program. And so I have him coming so that he can push it forward. It goes from one department, and then after they send it to the next department, I don't want to be responsible or have Lee responsible for pushing that to the next one, because.
Main thing, get somebody who knows what the hell's going on.
Right, and everybody's so busy right now that I don't want to ask, let's say Gerald County, the Director of Equalization, because they're just as busy as we are. So I'd rather have somebody come from Connecting Point and maybe pay a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, they know what is going
Right.
on.
So that's what we're doing right now, how we're trying to, and if we have questions, they are really good at billing us if we call them and have questions. So
Bill, you have to say.
they bill us. So on to the next one. I wasn't sure, we're putting some Christmas trees up and kind of like what the state does. I thought we could get 3 Christmas trees. I had them donated, hopefully. So, and I have enough Christmas decorations and I have a whole bunch of
If you
stuff.
run into trouble on a Christmas tree or something, I've got probably an artificial one at home,
Okay.
you know?
So my question on that one was gonna be, should we, on the next commissioners meeting, and we can look at it later, maybe kind of like we're doing now, have it a little bit later and maybe have an open house type thing, have some cookies and just spend some time with people.
Would
So,
that be on like their last,
No,
no, you have another one, Lloyd.
End of the-
no, but no,
Okay,
the
28.
December 27th.
And, no, I was wanting to do it earlier than that, so the next meeting. So that's how come I just put here commissioners meeting, I left it open. It's usually the first Tuesday,
Which is the 6th.
so we do it on
the
the,
6th.
so we would do it on the 6th.
Okay. All right.
But so do you want to do that like at 4 o'clock and then have an open house afterwards? Or do we not really want to do that? Don't care enough, people can come in and look at it, or
I like that idea.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
it'd be a beautiful kumbaya.
Roast marshmallows and chestnuts and
So,
So then our
Okay.
last commissioners meeting will be
to close out everything.
to close out everything.
And the 27th, please.
and then the first meeting after that
Generally
is.
the 27th, but I don't know what day of the week that
We'll,
is.
we'll swear you in.
Yeah,
29th,
20
29th through the Thursday.
We'll do the 29th
Do you
then.
want to do a Thursday as opposed to last Tuesday?
You guys, that's up to you
Well, how
guys.
about you?
I'm good with
All
everything.
right, well, let's do it on Thursday then.
The
Thursday,
29th.
That'll give them a couple days to.
So do the open house on the 29th? Is that what you're saying, after Christmas?
No,
Oh,
no, that's when to have our last
We
meeting.
have 2
Oh,
meetings in
yeah.
December. We have 2 meetings in December.
yeah,
That's
I'm only worried about the first one
I
here.
hear you.
Okay, so we're having it on Tuesday,
December 4th.
December 4th. Okay, so do you guys need executive session?
Steve, we don't have nothing, okay? We need a motion to approve the vouchers.
And so these are all your vouchers, you guys have.
Yep.
So, and we can,
We need a motion to approve them.
you'll see the one that's in there for, was it $6,000 for the, but that gets returned back to us.
Okay,
So when you see
The
that
5,000?
6,000, the bait was 5,000, okay.
5526.
These get thrown away.
Okay.
I'll take them.
Did you see the new ones? I put them down below. I haven't put it in there.
I didn't go through them all, but I did take these out.
Okay,
So the 175 to Abernathy Tower, was that electricity?
there's 2 on there, so isn't it 100?
There's 175 to Abernathy Post. That's under emergency
There should be
management.
350. Oh,
One is
that's,
under
that's-
And
sheriff.
one's out of sheriff, 175 also out of sheriff's.
so you guys already approved that 350.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
So,
this is the
okay.
first time it's been broken
Okay.
up, that's why I'm asking.
so,
And the fire district got 2,900.
that's their transmittal sheets. And that's usually about every 2 months, because sometimes it's only like $2. And so I only send it when it's worth sending a check to. Unless you want $1.50, it's more trouble.
Yeah, costs more to just put a
The
stamp
stamp
on it.
on it, yeah.
So I kind of wait on those until it's end of the year. So at end of the year, you may get a buck one. So,
But that wouldn't affect what the auditor and the treasurer, what was not coming out.
No.
Part of that.
no, none at all. Nope.
Well, I move that we pay them.
I'll second.
All aye,
Aye.
motion carried. Need a motion to adjourn.
So Mr. Gaki was paid, is that the remainder of what we owe him, or did he do something this month?
So I did pay him it all for the year, so the 900 was what and then the other one is for all of his work that he lights and some of the other things, so.
On top of the lawn?
Right.
A lot of that,
And
actually.
somebody said, okay, as long as somebody said, okay.
He did a good job on what he did, so.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second. All aye,
Aye.
meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Lee, you want to shut that
Yeah, I
up?
couldn't watch your stream live, but maybe.
Well, what,